Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
Hi, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, they, and them. What are your pronouns? See, do you see how easy that is, people? All you have to do is ask somebody what their pronouns are, and then, I don't know, just respect it. It is really not that hard of a concept. And for all those people out there making it like a big, huge deal, you look like an idiot. It's really not. It's called respect, right? Respect. So let's try this again. Hi, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. What are your pronouns? Let's be friends.
I'm really angry because a council has had to cancel an event for queer young people because of threats from neo-Nazis and anti-LGBTIQ groups. But I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about those kids. Because council may have decided to cancel this one event, but you know what? It does not make those kids any less fabulous. It does not mean that they are loved any less by their parents or their friends who are going to take them, or by those performers, those drag performers and all those other people who are going to do an amazing show for them, or by us as a community. So I am not going to waste my time talking about those right-wing fuckwits, because they don't matter. They don't. The only people that matter in this are those kids. They are who matters. And they are loved. They are.
So my school is celebrating LGBTQ plus month a little bit early. When they walk in the doors, they see this.
I've been making TikToks as a teacher for about less than a year now, like 9 months. And I'd like to address this. That happened the other day, where one of my TikToks I made a few months ago was reposted by a Hateful Twitter account and has been seen by hundreds of thousands of people and has received a lot of hateful comments. In that TikTok, I describe how teachers need to support our LGBTQ students and how teachers who are part of the LGBTQ community shouldn't have to hide who we are. And that received a lot of hate because there are people in the world who don't think that way. And I'd like to clear up a few misconceptions. So first, I teach high school. I think a lot of the times when people say they're a teacher, you automatically think of elementary school and small children, but I work with ages 14 to 18 and I teach high school English. Another thing I'd like to clear up is that I don't have a coming out moment with my students. I don't sit them down at the beginning of the school year and come out to them. I don't include it in my welcome slides, On my welcome slides, I list where I went to school, what my major was, things like that. I don't come out to my students ever. And the only reason kids would know things about me is if they looked at my personal social media accounts or if they ask me direct questions. And I will answer direct, age-appropriate questions from my teenage students. Questions like, are you married? No, I'm not. Do you have kids? No, I don't. I have kids ask me, what are your pronouns? Because that is a thing people ask nowadays, and I will answer them honestly. I have kids directly ask me, are you part of the LGBTQ community? And a lot of times they tell me that it's because they can tell I dress differently. I look different. Honestly, I do. It's easy to tell that I'm part of the LGBTQ community, and I will answer them honestly, but that's as far as the conversation goes. I don't talk about my intimate life with my students. All that I was saying in that video is that if I have a wife someday, which I could have a wife someday, I would like to, that I should be able to take her to school events, like football games, like concerts. I shouldn't have to hide my wife. I should be able to go on dates with my wife in public. I should be able to say I have a wife. And that's how I can support my students.
So if you watched my video from yesterday, you know that I was trying to figure out how to initiate conversation with this cute girl at a bar. I ended up telling the bartender that I wanted to buy her next drink if she had one, then that way it would kind of leave the ball in her court about whether or not she was comfortable with accepting it or whether or not she wanted to come over and talk to me. But when I told him my plan, he said that that was his best friend's girlfriend. So, oh well.
What a gift. We can always tell. You heard it here first, folks. I'm still a girl. Points for trying to be transphobic.
Question for my trans baddies. What is your favorite part about being trans?
If you're cis, this is gonna sound super messed up, but if you're trans, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it because I'm trans?
Dude at Home Depot who tried to mansplain me what I needed in order to fix my sink and the issue that I have. Please don't in the future. I didn't have time to argue with you what I needed. I just needed you to move out of the way because you were standing in front of exactly what I needed. But 5 minutes later, after listening to you try to engage and mansplain what couldn't possibly be the problem, but really was, you finally handed me the product. And I can't get those 5 minutes back. And you still don't believe. The funniest part is you still don't believe what I need is actually what I need. Men, y'all need to do better.
Hi there, and welcome to the friendly reminder that sometimes I am a hot girl. I am only a freelance hot girl because I like to make my own hours, and I cannot commit to a full-time hot girl schedule. But just please enjoy that sometimes I am hot.
This is a reminder that no one hates Kanye West more than Kanye West hates himself. Because really, with Candace Owens, really, wow, we've reached a new low.
This is your daily reminder that neo-pronouns are valid as hell and anyone who disagrees can suck my entire and complete dick.
So I want to talk about something I keep seeing people say in various different places when they're talking about They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, where I see people calling it a bury your gays trope novel. They Both Die at the End is not a bury your gays trope novel, and I want to make sure that you understand why that's not the case. So the bury your gays trope is a particularly harmful trope where the gay characters or the otherwise queer characters are the only ones that die in the source of narration, or they very specifically die in order to do one of a few things, where they're furthering someone else's character development. They're not able to have their own character development as a useful character within the novel. They die for shock value with no other real purpose, or they're dying because they aren't allowed to have a happy ending, because any showing of queerness in a positive light isn't allowed. This is why you'll see a lot of older narrations, older novels, where queer-coded characters are killed off. That is to show that queerness isn't okay. One of the most popular examples in modern media of the bury your gays trope is Clexa in the 100. This was huge when it happened because we finally had these two sapphic women that were together and a really strong couple, and they just kill Lexa off. And more recently, one of the things that you might have seen is Castiel saying I love you to Dean and then promptly dying. While there's debate over whether that I love you was a romantic or not, it is a pretty clear example of the bury your gays trope. They Both Die at the End is not a clear example of the bury your gays trope because it's not doing any of the things that a bury your gays trope book would do. So the two main characters both happen to be queer, and they both die at the end of the book because that's what the book told you they were going to do. They are not kept from their happy ending as a couple because it's not a romance novel, and it's not trying to be a romance novel. The point of the book is to show you that you should live your life to the fullest. It's the what would you do if you only had one day left. That is the trope that it is following. The danger of calling They Both Die at the End a bury your gays book is that that's now being weaponized against queer creators and saying that they are not allowed to kill off any queer characters within their novels. Now, not killing off the characters and they both die at the end would cheapen the narrative. The entire point of it is that they're going to die. If they did not die, it wouldn't make sense narratively. Just like in a epic fantasy book, if we didn't have a single person die, we wouldn't be able to feel the stakes. So queer creators have to be able to kill off characters without being accused of barrier gaze.